Here we have the PBL number three, first one, the first the PBL number three. We have the LCD module and the keypad. So here we have the main menu. If we click the number one, we have the first option, that is the distance sensor. So here we have the distance sensor that is controlled by a timer that is plugged into the RE1. So we're going to wait the LCD motor to actualize, so that we're waiting now for the sensor, and we click it and click it again, and we have a 62.4 45, and this is a very short measurement, because it is because I click it very fast. So if we want to measure again, we can click the letter D. We are now again in there, and we can click again this, and this. And this one, it was larger because I spent more time to click it again, the RE1. So we can click now the gato to return to the menu. So, well, I click it very fast. I click it again. So we are here now in the menu, in the main menu. So here we can go to the second option. The second option is the PWM send signal. So we're going to first, I'm going to, we have now a duty of 0. So to increment it, we can click the letter A. So very fast, I'm going to show the oscilloscope in order to see that we have a very short one, that is the first one, that is the duty when the duty is 60. So we can see here that it is, well, we have 1,000 microseconds, so it is very large. So this is how this works. So I am going to close this because it I spent a lot of time doing this. So we can increment this a lot of times in order to get to 600. That it's our duty cycle. So I am going to do this several times to get to the 600. Again, 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 and then we have here the 600 in the PWM signal, so that if we click it again, it doesn't happen anything. We can see in the oscilloscope that we have the oscilloscope up because it is the 600. So we close this, and we can decrement with the letter B until 0. So I'm going to do that. We decrement. Two more. Another one. Well, here we have the 0, and if I click it again, we can see that it happened nothing. So we can go back to the menu. Okay, we're going to test now the temperature sensor that it is in the, if we click the number 3. So we click the number 3, and we have here the temperature sensor. This temperature sensor is connected to this analog input, so we can increment the temperature. And we have here, well, we measured first the 0.0. So if we want to measure again, we can click the letter D and we measure again. And we can see here that we have the 300. If we want to measure again, for example, in the 5 volts, we can click the letter D in the keypad and we can measure again the temperature. And we have here now the 500. So after this, we can go back to the menu with the Gato again. Well, I click it very early. We click it again, we go to the main menu, and the main menu, the last option is the number 4, and this is a humidity sensor. In the humidity sensor, we can see now that if we increment this, we have to 0 to 100. Well, we first measure the 0. So if we want to measure again, we click the letter D. Once we have clicked the letter D, it measures again. We have the 48.58 because it's almost in 2.5. And we can measure the final is in 5 volts. We can measure again the letter D to measure again. And I click it very early. I click it again. So in we read it again and we have the 100% of humidity. So this is the end for the 3.1, the PBL3. For the PBL4, I'm going to clear this, load program. So here we have the PBL. Okay, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to put where is it? Software, the word
It's hardware.
hardware. Sorry, hardware. There it is. And also I'm going to put the oscilloscope. So here we have this one, and we're going to start it. In the work we can see, please select an option. Option 1 is the ultrasonic distance. I'm going to put the ultrasonic distance first now. We're going to wait to the menu to actualize. And I I have already wrote the option number 1, and it is the distance sensor. So in the distance sensor, we have to click the uh, the RE1. We click it one and click it twice, and nothing happens. Aquí está. There it is. It is very slow. I'm going to close this one to see if it is faster now. So we have the distance sensor, and if we type the letter D, so we're going to read again, and we click this, and we click this again.
Wait a moment, it's in the delay.
It's in the delay. Yes, we have a delay in the distance sensor. So then it put it that if we type the gato, we return to the menu, or the D to continue, and we are going to send again the D because we did it in the wrong
The
time.
D has already sent.
It's already sent. So
Yes.
okay, so we click the RE1 and we do it again, and we have here the measurement. So if we want to go back, we have to put the gato and we send it. We have the delay, so it is we have to wait a few seconds. So we returned to the menu, and then we are going to see the PWM signal, that it is the option number 2. We go to the PWM. I'm going to open the oscilloscope. So we have here that it says that type A to increment. So I type A. So we have uh, we can see in the oscilloscope that it increment the duty to 60. So I'm going to increment it in until we have 600.
You can use send string if you want.
Send string.
Yes, for send many A's.
Okay, so we can like this.
Yes.
Okay, we can increment three A's at the same time. So we're going to see 240. Then we have the 300. And then we have the 360. I'm going to send three more. So we send them, and we have the 420, where we can see in the oscilloscope that we see how it is incrementing the duty. So 540, and then I think that we missed one. So we send another A to have the 600. We can see that in the oscilloscope that it is now in the 600. We can send it again, and it happened nothing. So we can send now, well, we can send in the string. We know that there are 10 now. Well,
Yes.
we're going to do 5 the first time so that we can see how it works. B2 decrement, so we are now decrementing here. We can see in the UART and in the oscilloscope that we are in fact decrementing. So we can see how it decrements, and we have 300 here. We're going to send another string with another 5. And we can see here how it is decrementing until it gets to 0. $60 and 0. If we send another time the letter B, we can see that nothing happens. And we have in the oscilloscope the 0. So we close the oscilloscope, and we can type here the gato to return to the menu. So in the menu, we can go to the option number 3, that is the temperature sensor. Okay, here we have that if we want to return the gato, and we have, if we want to read a sensor again, is the letter D. So we're going to increment the temperature there. We have initially a 0. We can type the letter D to read again. And we have then the measurement. We can do it again, letter D, and read it again. That is 500 temperature. So we go back to the menu. We return to the menu, and then we're going to go to the humidity sensor. In the humidity sensor, we have a 0. Then so we're going to increment it more or less there, and type D to read again. And we have a 37. And for the second measurement, we are going to go to the 100%. The letter D, we measure the 100%, and to go back to the menu, we have to type gato. And we go back to the menu. So that is all.